evening, beautiful people, wonderful individuals out there. Hey, it's Dr. Mel. It is a Friday night, and I am not going to be on here long. Sound like I won't say what kind of preacher, but those that are in the faith, y'all know. I won't be before you long. And then 40, 50 minutes later, they still there. But anyway, the Lord is good. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope those that see this now, see it later, you are going to be blessed, but not just blessed, you're going to be informed and educated and equipped, which is what I am all about in this season, is to ensure that those that I come in contact with are empowered, equipped, and educated and receive, great things to come, because at the end of the day, we are facing some very difficult times. We're dealing with some serious things. And tonight, which my goal is only to be here for about 20 minutes or less, because it is a Friday night. And one of my personal goals that I am sticking to, one way, shape, or form, is to make Friday night family night. Friday nights is going to be time to either relax, watch a movie, pop some popcorn, whatever we're doing, and really spend that quality time with family. So, again, I won't be before you long, but this topic is important. We've had a lot of things going on, and as we're getting ready to get back to school, getting back into the rigmarole, so to speak, of the educational system. Unfortunately, there was a crisis in Thailand today, and it really, just rocked my soul, just to know that we're already starting off with a school shooting already. And as we're preparing our children, educators are preparing for children to come in and for young ones to learn, and they're excited. Unfortunately, this is a part of our reality of dealing with a crisis. So, just wanted to share some insider tips, so to speak, of how to handle when your child, your loved one, your grandchild, or your student, may have questions or things may come up, and also to share a really neat, neat. Now I sound old. A really good resource that I um, picked up at the ASCA conference that was in New Orleans this past summer. Amazing. The food, delicious. The event was great too, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I gotta go back. It was amazing. So this particular book is a free resource, and I'm going to put the information in the comments or something probably later, so that you can go to their website. But it is the Parent Handbook by Operation Parent, and it just gives some really, really good tips, information, questions that you can ask, how you can answer questions. But, sometimes as parents or even as educators, we don't have answers to things. And this gives you a wide variety of information. They cover alcohol and nicotine, they cover healthy tech interactions, and even on tonight, coping with school shootings and what to say or how to address those areas. So I definitely want to give you just some quick insight about how to handle certain situations, especially when you're dealing with a crisis, as we're getting ready to go back to school. And so, if you are, before we even dive into that, if you are in the Orlando area, or let me first start with the Tampa area, there are a couple things that's going on. There are different resources that's going on, different activities. And one of them is in Tampa. If I hopefully you can see my screen here. This is the Back to School Bash 2026. If you are in the Tampa area or can get to the Tampa area, please, please, please go out and enjoy some of the free activities that's there. That's starting at 9. It says 9:01 to 1:01. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but I guess from 9 to 1, y'all can make it there. And so, if you want to get some haircuts, you want to get some free supplies, I don't know all who will be there. I do know my good peeps, the deacons, will be there. Yeah, from How's It. and they will have activities, and I think they're doing bounce houses. I'm not sure if they're doing all of the things that they have, but if you're looking for an all-in-one activities company with bounce houses, water slides, face painting, they have something called the gyrosphere, spins you all over the place. And yeah, don't get on there if you're afraid of, potentially throwing up, but they'll be there as well, and this is all free. So please, go out and visit if you are able to get there. And then there is also another event that's going on. Now, this one I believe is in the closer to the Orlando area. And this is also a free back to school bash. It is going to be this Saturday. This one is in the afternoon from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And again, your school supplies, free haircuts, toys, food, games, giveaways, and several sponsors here, including my bishop, Cabarrus Ministries in Orange County, Florida, and Boys and Girls Club. So if you are in the area, please, please, please go and check them out. That is going to be tomorrow as well. And then, last but not least, I cannot leave out my good Delaware peeps. Hey, I love y'all. I really do. I am enjoying no snow though, but love it, love it, love it. And so if you are in the Delaware area, then you can also attend this event. Now, this is for educators and for youth. They are going to be praying for everybody, and we all need it, hence the conversation tonight. So if you are in the Delaware area and you are able to attend, this is going to be in Dover at the Crossroads Christian Church. And shout out to Miss Danielle Craig and her team. You guys are amazing. Love you all. And I am so thankful and grateful that this is going on. And I'm sure there are other events going on throughout the state of Delaware and throughout Florida and every state at this point. But those just a few that I am aware of. And so definitely want to share with you all. So again, real quick, I'm already at 7 minutes. That means half my time is already gone in my mind, right? So this particular topic, again, as we talked about, or as I mentioned, unfortunately, we are dealing with so much that's going on before we even get into the school system and before we even begin the school year. So tonight, here are some key points that I just want to share with families, with parents, with those who are connected to youth and with young adults and anyone that's dealing with the school system. Again, this is a particular resource that I think would be awesome. Hopefully you can see it. And again, I'll put the information in the description below, but it's the parent handbook. There is a elementary, middle school, high school, and there's also one for those who are believers and Christians. And so it gives you a little bit more in-depth conversation along that side. But this particular section talking about school shootings, it highlights having open-ended questions. It highlights using simple sentences or simple responses. And it also talks about not over talking. I know as adults, we want to either give answers or we want to make our kids feel, of course, safe and secure. And sometimes we may go into a lecture rather than just being present. And so when there is a crisis, especially something as significant as anything dealing with their school, it may not be a school shooting, but it may be something that has happened in the school system. It may be that they had to go on lockdown because something was going on outside of the school. And having been in the school system for over 13 years as a school counselor, and also in this profession as being a mental health professional for over 10 years, there's so much that I've seen and covered. But at the end of the day, when we're talking to children and we are even coming in to be that support and rallying around them, majority of the time, they don't want to talk, at least initially. You have some that they're ready to just chomp at the bit and they just can't help it because now their nerves, they're just nervous and they got to get everything out. But for the most part, they don't really want to talk. They just want to feel comforted. They want to feel love. They want to feel that you're present. And sometimes that is all they need, at least initially, is presence. So, what does that mean? So, that means first and foremost, you have to regulate your own presence. You have to regulate your emotions. You have to regulate how you are presenting to them. as parents, and I am a parent, I cannot tell you that I may not remember all of this myself should anything ever go down with my own child. Because at the end of the day, as a parent, or as a caregiver, or a community leader, or as an educator, your gut instinct is to protect. Your gut instinct is to go and make sure that they're okay. And so if anything's going on, or any alarms or and bells and whistles are siren, going off on your phones, and you're like, oh, forget everything. I'm going straight to the school and I'm going to get my child. Well, first and foremost, being the educator and being on this side, that's not happening right away. And as much as we want you to get your child right away, there are processes and there are protocols. And although, again, things like school shootings, we should eliminate at this point by now. I have some thoughts about that. We as a school, or the school system, and even the local deputies, the community connections. I know in the state of Florida, majority of the schools have a Centegix badge that staff wear, and or they have some kind of security feature that ultimately alerts others when something's going on, and they have a protocol. And unfortunately, you going into the school is not part of the protocol. So, as much as we want you to connect with your child should anything take place, just know that that is the protocol. They have to, of course, secure the area. They have to secure others and make sure that everybody is as safe as possible, regardless of what's going on. Okay. You going in guns a blazing is not going to help, because they may mistake you as the person and you're just trying to go get your child. Okay. So, regulating your own emotions as best as you can when your child even asks you a question about crises. And crises may include a friend saying that they don't want to be here anymore, or a friend saying that they want to take their life. And it may not even be a friend, it may be somebody online that they're talking to, and they just have questions because now their minds are trying to figure out, what does this even mean? Why is this happening? So you yourself have to regulate your own emotions, get yourself together if you need a moment, or if you know that you are not the one to have this conversation, even though it is your child and you want to, but you know you really can't, then it's okay. That's where you lean on your community, lean on a family member, lean on a professional, lean on a community member, a pastor, somebody that is connected to you in some way, shape, or form, that can stand with you or sit with you and give you the insight about how to respond to your child's questions or respond to what's going on. So, regulating yourself is number one. Number two is listen to understand. Name what you hear. This is communication 101, right? Again, some of us, we like to talk. I'm a talker, right? Ironic. I'm in the therapeutic business. I have to listen more than I have to talk. But believe it or not, that is what we are designed to do, is to listen. We have two ears and one mouth, as my mama would say, and others too. But we do. We need to listen and take in the information before we respond. And even before we respond, make sure that you heard the question, or you're hearing what it is they're saying. So if they ask the question, or they may say, well, I don't understand why Billy Bob keeps picking on Susan. I mean, what's the problem? You can't turn around and say, well, you mean Billy Bob is bullying Susan? He should be, and you are off to the races. Just make sure you understood clearly. Okay, so what I heard you say is that Billy Bob is picking on Susan. Is this every day? Right? Get clarity, get understanding, to make sure that you know what it is that they're also trying to say. Because sometimes, depending on the age group, some of our children, they get things a little twisted, or they make things up, or you realize as the story's going along, like they missed point A, and then point B and C just something don't connect, right? So make sure that you're hearing them and just respond. Okay, I think this is what you're saying. Let me make sure I understand. The other is to assess the level of the situation. So, meaning that, is there something going on with their safety? Is it that your child does not feel safe in that situation that they're describing to you? Is it that they don't feel heard? Is it that they just don't understand what happened or what is happening. Again, things even like with the news or things that may be going on in the community, or um, they're on lockdown and in the building they can still move around, but they know no one can come in, no one can come out, whatever the case may be. Getting understanding and assessing what that level of safety and security is that they really have. So then you can talk about what is already in place. As well as, does this mean I need to maybe talk to their school counselor? Do I need to talk to the principal? Do I need to share with their teacher? Hey, my child came home. They had questions about this because y'all were on lockdown. Um, this is what they said. I just need to get some clarity so I can also come alongside you, school personnel, to support what's already in place. Or they had questions and they really didn't understand. And no one explained to them what was going on. So they felt real anxious and nervous. We also have, children that are on various levels of different understanding and cognitive levels. So sometimes parents need to prep. This is for my educators and my leaders out there. Parents need to prep their children about certain things. And no, we cannot give them the schedule of, the fire drills and all of that. However, if there is any way possible to connect with parents and just let them know that, hey, we're going to have drills, we're going to have things in place throughout the school year. Here are some things that we would recommend, or so you're aware, should your child come home and is in a tizzy, this is why. Okay. Parents love communication, just like teachers and everyone else loves communication. So that goes on both sides. And then, of course, again, take one clear action. So, depending on what the crisis is that your child is talking about, again, if it is related more along so of self harm or along the side of seeing and witnessing something, then what is that action that you can take with them so they feel supported? And it's not necessarily that you're trying to fix the situation. Yes, there are times as parents, we do need to step in on behalf of our children and be their support and for lack of better words, be their backbone or their bodyguard, whichever way you want to look at it. I tell people all the time, yes, I'm short, I'm little, but you mess with my family, you mess with my child, you're going to have a problem. Okay. So but there's a way to do it. We can't go guns blazing. We can't go stomping into the school demanding, to talk to the superintendent or whoever just because they came home and had a bad day. Do you have the full story? That's another thing to consider. Because of course, when things happen or things are said or things are done, sometimes your child is looking at it through one lens, which is their own. And again, depending on the age and cognitive levels, sometimes that can be skewed. So, like I said, I'm not going to be before you long, and I mean it because I'm getting out of here. We got a movie to watch tonight. Hey. So, the first thing, as I mentioned, when you're dealing with a crisis or if your child comes to you with a crisis, how to respond. Number one, regulate your own emotions, regulate your own self before you even go into this conversation, if you can. If they come in the car and they're like already going at it and telling you all about the things, it's okay to say, okay, hold on, wait a minute. I need a minute. Let me get myself together so I can make sure I'm hearing you. Okay. So regulating yourself. And then number two, listen to understand. Rephrase what they are saying. Ask them for clarity. Ask clarifying questions just to make sure you understand what it is that they're saying, or getting a better understanding of what they're trying to say. And then three, assess the level of security. Do you need to involve other people? Do you need to contact the school? Is this a conversation that you do need to have again with a staff member? Or is this something that needs another avenue per se? So assessing that level of risk. And then, of course, taking one action with your child. So again, that may look like, just if nothing else, listening to them, because if they have more questions, they can come and talk to you. Or, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this some thought and we'll go and talk with somebody in the morning. Or if it is an immediate situation and you need to make a report, depending again on the age, you may need to tell them, hey, this is something I have to report. Because if you're telling me someone's in danger or someone's going to be hurt or harmed or anything along those lines, this is not something we can keep to ourselves. We have to call somebody and we have to make sure that that person is okay. That's another conversation that we can have, and I can walk you through the steps of even how to make a report if you feel or is you become aware that someone is being harmed, hurt, abused, whether it's a child or an adult. There's some steps to that as well, but ultimately 911 can be your friend, or depending on what state you're in, know your state number for child abuse. There's a hotline. There is also websites that you can, of course, Google for your state, and you can make an anonymous report if someone is in danger or in need of support because they are talking about taking their life or their suicidal thoughts or plans. 988. You can also send that message to 988 and they can walk you through how to make a report and how to, if you have more information, how they can then get someone to that person. So 988, if you don't remember anything else from this, 988, okay, or 911, either one. So I definitely, I wish that we were not in a world where we had to have these conversations. But again, these are the times that we're in. And, if you need resources, you need support. The parent handbook, again, this is a very, oh, okay, I think you can see it now. Maybe not. Yep, there it is. The parent handbook from the Operation Parent. These are free resources. Again, later on, I'll put the link in the description. That gives you so much content or information of things that you can talk about with your child about cell phone use, social media, gaming, sexting, um, information, what to put online, what not to put online, emotional and mental health topics, friendships, bullying, and there's a lot here. So add to your library, add to your resources. And if you're like, what, I'm really not a reader, I just need to talk to somebody. Hey, send me a message, put support in, the description, or send me a message on any of these social media platforms. You can also reach me on toolsts.com. You can reach me on royallamb.com. And ultimately, the goal is to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can to make sure that you are equipped, you are empowered, and you do feel support. So, again, if you need some extra support, you need some maybe a one on one quick conversation and consulting, you're not really sure what direction to go in about something, then put support in the chat. I will definitely reach out to you. Or again, you can feel free to reach me via any of those platforms, which is toolsts.com. That is TOOLESTS.com, or Royal Lamb, all one word.com. You can find me on either platform or any social media platforms. Please feel free to send me a message. So I am over my time by almost 3 minutes. I said I wasn't going to be before y'all long, but okay, it is what it is. Don't forget those activities and events going on this weekend. Again, in the Dover area, if you can get to Crossroads or any location, I'm sure everybody's doing some kind of back to school bash or something, but get out there, socialize, connect, make sure that you reach out and talk with some people if you truly need some help and support, even if it's just in school supplies. I'm gonna probably be on a whole nother rant with that later, because now that I am not in the school system, I know why we need to send all this stuff, because they need to pay teachers more, mm, and school staff. But as a parent, I am not supplying the whole class for their items. I, all right, I'm stopped now. I'm get off my rant. But anyways, hope this helped. If you know a parent that needs some support, a teacher, a school staff, a community member that needs some support or would like to connect or need a workshop for their department, for their schools, for their churches, please share my information, y'all. That is my goal and my mission in life, is to, again, make sure that everyone I come in contact with is equipped, empowered, and educated on how to live well, and not just live well, but live to ignite the fire that's within you and not to entertain. I hope you have an amazing weekend, a blessed night. I hope you enjoy your Friday. I'm about to go watch something with my child. I don't know what she picked this time. Pray for me, y'all. But we're going to have a great time. All right. Love y'all. Stay blessed.